Hi, welcome to today's video from the Our Study series, a series where I go over loads of ways you can improve your health, study, and just life in general. In today's video, I'm going to be going over sleep and how important it is for us humans. The first thing I want to start with is with something I heard on a podcast somewhere, which was that humans should sleep before and after learning to retain the most knowledge. And yet I don't see schools giving us nap time before and after classes in the near future, so I don't know what's going on there. Anywho, when you do sleep at night, the general recommendation for teenagers is to sleep 8 to 10 hours per night. A 2015 CDC survey found that 7 in 10 teenagers aged 15 to 18 don't get the recommended 8 hours sleep every night. That is a lot of people, and that is a massive problem that we need to solve. Teenage hormones cause our body clocks to shift naturally a few hours later, so we go to bed and feel tired a lot later than other people. But because school starts early, this usually cuts our sleep short, meaning that teenagers don't get enough sleep, which is why there's such a large number of teenagers who don't get enough sleep. However, there are lots of things you can do to reduce the effects of this, and I don't think schools are going to be starting classes later just because we don't get enough sleep. So it's up to us to fix that part of our lives. And I'll be going over ways to improve sleep in the second half of this video. Anyway, I want to show the awful effects of sleep deprivation and what they can do to your body. So here's a list of all the things that sleep deprivation leads to. Difficulty concentrating, drifting off in class, shorter attention spans, memory impairment, poor decision making, lack of enthusiasm, moodiness and aggression, depression, risk-taking behaviour, slower physical reflexes, clumsiness, truancy, reduced sport performance, and reduced academic performance. The long-term issues associated with chronic sleep deprivation include high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attack, heart failure or stroke, obesity, lower immunity, lower sex drive, premature wrinkles, and dark circles. Now that we have all these problems, we need to find a way to solve them. Here are my tips for increasing the quantity of sleep that you get as well as the quality of sleep that you get. Because theoretically you can be in bed for 10 hours but only get 7 hours of quality sleep, which means you're still sleep deprived even though you've been asleep for 10 hours. So this is definitely one of those cases where quality is just as important as quantity. So my tips are: stick to a consistent sleep schedule. Even if you're getting the right amount of sleep every night, it's most effective when you have a consistent sleep schedule because your body gets used to it and it becomes a lot easier to wake up and go to bed at the same time every night. Being physically active during the day can also help you get a better night's sleep because it makes you more physically tired at night. However, exercising too close to when you go to sleep can have the opposite effect and make it worse. The recommendation is to not do moderate exercise at least 4 hours before you sleep. Ideally, don't do any exercise at all 1 hour before you sleep, but obviously if that's the only time that you can do exercise, and exercise is very important, then keep doing it. But just remember to try and keep when you exercise as far away from when you sleep as possible. Having a relaxing wind down routine can also really help with getting a good night's sleep, as it literally allows you to wind down and mentally prepare yourself for rest. The next thing is limiting screen time before bed. It's been shown that teenagers who don't use their phones 1 hour before bed get an extra 21 minutes of sleep per night, which adds up to over 2 hours of extra sleep over the course of a week, which is pretty good if you ask me, because you're not sleeping any longer, you're just getting rid of that screen time before bed and you get a better quality sleep. The next thing is limiting light exposure in the evenings. Light tells your brain to stay awake, particularly the blue light produced by technology, and this can reduce melatonin production, which is the hormone responsible for sleep. If you need light in the evenings, try using red or orange tinted light, as this has less of an effect, or just try and dim your lights as much as possible. The next thing is, if you wake up in the middle of the night, try not to look at the time, because this can drive your mind to do calculations and then cut into how much sleep you get, which is not great. Just try and wait for the moment that your alarm clock goes off if you can. And last but not least, try to avoid stimulants such as coffee, tea, energy drinks, anything basically that contains caffeine or high quantities of sugar. Caffeine has a half-life of roughly 6 hours, so even if you have a coffee at 4 in the afternoon, which may not seem like that close to when you sleep, you're still going to have half of that caffeine running around in your system, which can have super detrimental effects on your sleep. I can't remember the exact podcast, it was possibly a TED Health or Joe Rogan one, but the recommendation was not to have coffee after 10 in the morning if you want to have it not have any effect on your sleep or any negative effect on your sleep. It can take up to 6 weeks before your body fully feels the benefits of getting enough sleep. So try to incorporate a couple of these things into your life and see what happens. I hope that you find these tips helpful, insightful, and interesting. If you did, leave a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and subscribe for more videos like this. Have the most amazing rest of your day. Remember to stay safe, stay kind, and most of all, be happy. Thank you.